and check them out. It's very interesting. It makes our thinking different. It in related to anything, let it be fitness, decision making, leading to success, anything. They have 4 different branches. There is one at 5 a.m. talk. Now 5 a.m. is like if people like me, we snooze the alarm. So these sessions happen exactly 5. So it helps you in yeah, waking up and disciplining yourself. They have sessions for young minds which help them to think different, get more creative, get them more interactive, and build that little tiny leader to become one strong leader. And also about mastermind, like I said, they have topics related to and motivating, that would lead you to success, that little thing that is missing in us that would stop us from doing certain things. Attending this mastermind session of empowerment talks is really going to help you in that acceleration. It's going to give you that push towards success. Now, for lazy readers who love stories but are very lazy to read, we open chapter till 5 and then we close it and we leave it. But you want to know what happens, then there's ebook ratio. You can just listen to them. They have excellent stories. They get it's audio session. You can just listen to their stories. So please check out empowerment talks. They're there on social media. If you want to know more about them, please check them out. Also, coming back to PixlR Talks. Now, PixlR Talk, just like how Empowerment Talks, is related to arts, completely art, any topic and every topic. Depending on your request, we're going to just plan a session that's going to be there in future. PixlR Talk is basically to we aspire to inspire. That means we want to push art into children, may inspire them to do better. It's not just hobby, it can be linked to any academic growth. So follow us, subscribe and share, tell it to your friends. We're there on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Telegram. And now when we're attending sessions, certain discipline is always important for everybody wherever we go. Now here what we have is certain do's and don'ts, like put in your full name when you're registering, or put in your full name when you're getting signing in into the call, and give us your location so we could know where you are joining us from. And always stay on mute, because there's going to be someone or the other talking non-stop and you might be disturbing the listeners. And the other thing is, do not annotate. Now if we have children of every age category, and if you end up, the young ones may end up annotating, so it's going to be disturbing for others who are actually talking at that time or presenting a screen, or let it be even the artist. So do not annotate. Keep your videos off, because it's going to just randomly show up whose ever video gets turned on, and the spotlight may be off. So it can be very disturbing. So keep your videos off. It also helps, not just us, helps you, because it improves your bandwidth. Now if you do want to say something, please use the raise hand option. We will unmute you if we want to hear, or you can put up your queries that has to be addressed immediately in the chat. Then we will give you an option to unmute. So just raise your hand if you want to ask. If it is something related to the artist, you want to ask something to the artist, then there's going to be a Q&A round where we'll give certain amount, like about 15 minutes time for you to ask whatever questions, and the artist will answer you at that time. Do not start unmuting yourself in between to talk to the artist. Now the other thing, you have to think twice before you ask a question, because a question has to be very valuable for that time, because you getting that opportunity to talk to the artist. So make it more valuable question where others can learn from your question, and it also helps you improve that big question mark in your head. It gets rid of that big question mark from your head. Make sure every question is a valuable question, and whenever the artist is saying something, just be there, because we're doing it only for you guys. Now if at all, the chat option is open, but please make sure you don't use any explicit language or anything that is unwanted, because we can simply send you out of the session. These are do's and don'ts when you join us. Now since last week we've have started this WhatsApp group. I spoke about it in the last session, where we have students who are interested, they can join us in that group, and we will be giving weekly challenges. So it was very interesting. We had a few very beautiful outputs. Now last week what we had is you just place some random objects, and then what do you see, what does it inspire you, does it make it look like a character or an object or anything. So this was the last week challenge, and this was the output that we got from some of our participants. Very interesting. And you get to get your doubts clarified then and there after you submit. So be sportive enough to follow us and join us in the WhatsApp group to get your queries and get participated into all such activities, such beautiful ones. Like here there's a glass just tilted, there is actually no water, but the thought of just drawing the water, so it brings out, it makes you look at things different around. So this was last week's challenge. We have received great response from students. And so those who are interested, please make sure in the chat there's going to be a link to join us in WhatsApp. You can follow that. So there's definitely, once you join us there, it's going to improvise your strokes, any small tiny things. Also these challenges are going to meet those tiny requirements to make you a better artist. So join us there. And now this week, what we're having is, we have thought of Diwali coming up, so we thought you can make some nice lanterns. This is this week's challenge. Make it how much more creative can you get with the lantern? Not just a lantern. You just show out your creativity. That is what is this week's challenge. Join us. Send in your pictures. Show us what you have come up with, and if there is any corrections required, artists are there in that group who can immediately address it. Now, like I said, that's the WhatsApp group link. You'll be getting it in the chat. You can join us then and there itself. Like I said, PixlR, it is we just aspire to inspire you. It's a small community of experts from art. We bring in experts from different techniques, mediums of art, and they come in and share their valuable ideas and techniques with you guys, which you probably may not be getting to know if you are trying to learn from any of the tutorials or anything from online, because you can actually tell they would actually tell you what is the disadvantages and advantages of using certain techniques. So those tiny things will get clarified. So we aspire to inspire you. Now the agenda for the day is, we always have a fun show that we start off with. It's a 5 minutes to 6 minutes magic show by Mr. Guna, and then I'm going to tell you about our artist, and then the artist is going to give you a demonstration, and then you get about 15-20 minutes to ask your queries, and the artist will address it. Now that is about knowledge giving. It just doesn't stop there. If it was another seminar in live, we would give you even more fun giveaways, but this is no less. We're going to give you 2 important apps of the day every week. It is new app. We don't repeat the information. It is absolutely new. You're going to get new apps which is going to help you related to art and academics. Also the website, similarly, you're going to get 2 websites which is going to actually help you, and one competition that is very important, or if you participate, it's going to be more valuable, and then it's going to be your time to give us back. That is very important feedback. So this is the agenda of the day. Now, like I said, we start off the session with a very fun thing, that's magic. Who doesn't love magic? This is by Mr. Guna. Now, Mr. Guna is a psychologist. Yes, it is his hobby to just play around with magic. It just doesn't stop there. He's a YouTuber. He helps people in memory training. He does Rubik cubing, book reading, and number of things. Mr. Guna, you can take over, sir.
Thank you, Sudha. Kindly spotlight me.
Sure, sir.
Good evening. I am Gunashekaran. Today I will be talking about an important topic called placebo. Do you know what is placebo? Placebo is a medical tab. It's used in medicine. Normally, they give you blank tablets and they will say that it contains some medicine. You will believe it, then it happens. In the same way, see, if you take the homeopathy, They'll be giving some sugary tablets, and they will say that it is going to cure some ailments. You will believe it is going to happen. The same concept I'm going to explain through the magic. Here I have a cup or tumbler, or whatever you say, and here I have a ball. I have a ball, and I'm placing this ball, and I'm not doing some magic. Nothing happens because I don't have any magical power. Now what happens? I take the magic power. Now I got the power, magical power. This will happen. I take the ball now, I just drop it and just tap. It vanishes. Where's the ball? It's not here. Then what happens when I tap is magical one. The ball is somewhere here and it will reach the cup. Do you believe it? Yes. It is there. Okay. Now what happens? I take this ball and I place this ball in the cup, just shake it and just take this ball out. And where is the ball? Ball is in my pocket. See? The ball is in my pocket. You will believe like that, but what happens when you tap like this and just, it's not correct. Again tap. Tap it. The ball arrives again. See, the ball is coming. I take this ball and keep it in my pocket. Again, see, the ball is coming. I take this ball again and keep it to my pocket. What happens? The ball again arrives. Okay. I take this ball again and I'm keeping it in my pocket. What happens? See, the ball is changing to shape, a bigger one. I take this ball and keep it in my pocket. And something, what happens when I take the ball as arrived, but this time I will make it bigger, 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 bigger. See, the bigger ball. Now the cup is empty. Now the cup is empty. What happens when the cup is empty and you need a magic wand, you take it, just tap it. You get a ball. You believe it? Still have a ball. And you have this ball here, and I'm going to take this ball to my pocket again. What happens? When you shake it, it becomes a bigger ball. Bigger ball here. Now what happens? Again, I touch with this magic ball. Do you believe that you have a ball? Yes, you see, I have another ball. Now, I take this ball and keep it in my pocket. Again, you get a ball. From an empty cup, you are getting one ball after another. That is the belief you have. It is a placebo effect. Thank you very much. Over to Sudha. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Every week you just don't stop surprising us. This week as well, it was very interesting. I wonder how you do it. Now, this is not the first session. Like I said, if you want to know more about the sessions that you have missed, our videos are there on YouTube. You can go check out. Last week we had digital sculpting by Mr. Pandya Rajan. It was very interesting. So you can go check out how he did a giraffe digitally. Also, he gives you information on what is the software that he used as well, and techniques as he used. The previous week we had VFX, video editing, by Mohammad Rafi. So you can go check these interesting, and if you have missed from the beginning, we have all the videos there. Please go check it out. Now, coming back to today's session, today we have this amazing artist named Razia Arshad. She is a self-taught artist. Basically, she's a mom, an amazing artist. She's going to teach us about acrylic paints today. Razia, over to you. You can take over.
Hello, good evening, everybody. I hope you're all pumped for a great session coming ahead. So today I'll be teaching you, I'll be talking about acrylic painting. Painting, a little bit about me. I'm going to tell you, I'm a self-taught artist. I'm a self-taught artist. I've not had any professional training in art. So this I'm saying to inspire you people that anybody can do art. Anybody can paint as long as you have a very good creativity and a very wild imagination that I am sure everyone will be having. I would inspire you to work upon it. So today I'm going to give you a small session on acrylic painting. First of all, let's get all the materials ready. So for that, I'm using acrylic paint. There are three mediums of paint. There are, various mediums of paints, but I work with basically two. It's acrylic and oil paint. Acrylic, the difference between both is that acrylic will dry fast and oil paint will take time to dry. Okay, acrylic will dry fast and oil paint will take time to dry. So it's all based on the blending and the time you take to finish a painting. So for beginners, I would suggest you go with acrylic painting because it dries fast. You get the results faster. Okay, so let's get into the session and I'll talk through the painting. Just a second, I'll change my camera angle. Yeah, as you can see, these are all the materials I have. I have the paints that is white. This is titanium white. This is burnt umber. This is phthalocyanin blue, or you can have ultramarine blue too. That's also okay. This is lemon yellow. And this is cadmium yellow. So I believe in color mixing and not using pre-made colors. If you have around 4 to 5 sets of colors, you can mix almost any other thing. This is for a tree. So for a tree, as you can see, there is no green. We are going to mix the green and do it. Okay. So let me keep the camera. Sorry. I'm sorry, just a second. Yeah. Okay. So I'm painting on canvas. I do canvas paintings, as you can see. Canvas is a kind of cloth that is primed with gesso.
Rashmi, can you please rotate the camera, please? Can you please rotate the camera?
Yeah. The camera is set. I'm just going to talk now, okay? So yeah, this is the material I'm going to paint on. This is a canvas. It's called a canvas. It's a cloth. As you can see, it's a cotton cloth primed with gesso. So let's start the painting. Let's not waste much time and let's start the painting. So I'm using a filbert brush. As you can see the shape of the brush. It has a U shape on it. And this is the only brush I'm going to use today. It does pretty much everything. You can paint flat, you can paint thin lines with it, and you can also block in colors. So this is the brush I'm using, okay? And I dampen the brush first. That's how I try to keep the paint. So how do you dampen the brush? You dip the brush in water and you squeeze out all the water. It should just be wet on touch. That's how the paintbrush should be. Now we mix in brown. We take some burnt umber, that is brown, dark brown. And if you can see, yeah. And we give a base as the ground, okay? So the thing with trees or any nature, in fact, is the randomness of the picture. There is no set, set structure for it. It's just it has to be very random. The strokes should be very random. The more random it is, the more beautiful it will look. So once you have the groundwork done, we'll start with the trunk. The trunk, we are taking more brown, burnt umber. Okay. So this is the mid-tone of the thing, that is, it's not too dark and it is not too light too. So you start from the ground and you go push upwards. Don't worry if it's a crooked line, it will just beautify the tree. Understand? So once you get that, you get a basic structure of a tree. How, like, you just let your, I would say, let your brush flow. The brush knows what to do. Your hand knows what to do. Observe the trees around you and your hand will know what to do. So just take, catch towards the end of the brush and push it, and then leave your pressure, leave the brush, and you see, it will give you strokes. It will give you that natural strokes. Okay. And then
can you please rotate the camera? Camera is now it is like vertical. I need to
you want to rotate the camera? Okay.
this is better. Yes.
Yeah, okay, fine. Is that okay?
Yes. Okay.
Perfect, right? Yeah. So as I was saying, you start thick and you go thin. Understood. So the thing with acrylic painting is it dries fast. So it will dry not as fast as watercolor, but it will dry within a couple of minutes. Okay. So now you want a basic structure of a tree. That's all. Just the basic trunk, not the detailed version. We are going to have a very thick tree. Okay. So now once that is done, you clean your brush and you keep a rag in handy. You wipe it and it should be wet on touch. That's all. No, not too much water. Okay. It's just to keep the paint from drying. Now you take a little bit of blue, phthalo blue, and a little bit of lemon yellow. It mixes a green. Okay. Now to darken it, to deepen the color, we use we use burnt umber with it. Burnt umber will darken the color more. A little bit goes a long way. So you just have to just have to touch the paint and mix it. Okay, mix very little amounts of colors until you get the desired shade. So we are starting from the darkest shade towards the lighter shade, because the farther one will be the darkest shade. Okay, so now drawing the leaves of the tree. If you notice, I'm just taking the brush. There is no particular method to it. You just keep splashing on the ends of the branches. See that? And it will give a beautiful texture to it. The brush will leave a mark. That mark will look like when the paint is going, it will look like little clumps of leaves. We are not, I'm repeating, we are not going to make a fuss about the, symmetry and all those things. The more asymmetric it is, the more random it is, the more beautiful it looks. Okay, so I take a little bit of blue and mix in with yellow, and I add in a little bit of brown or burnt umber, and then I keep splotching. See, I'm just pressing the brush on the canvas. Now, for people who, if you have a difficulty in understanding where the leaves should go or till how far the leaves should go, you can make a basic sketch of a pencil, a very light indication of the boundaries of the trees. Don't draw clear-cut trees, okay? Don't draw clear-cut leaves, okay? Just make a basic boundary of the tree. And now the basic idea is, even if you have a little bit of space here and there, it will all add into the beauty of the tree. Because if you look at a tree, there is no such tree that is very thickly dense. You see through the trees, there are little, little gaps here and there. So the natural gaps that comes from our splotching will help in getting that effect. Okay. Now, let me darken it a little bit more and let us get the base done. Then the other way we get a good main cluster of leaves is we start from the ends of the branches and then come towards the middle. Okay, when we start from the ends of the branches, if you can look at a tree, you will understand the leaves are at the end of the branches, right? So once we have got a basic structure ahead, we start from the ends of the branches, we give big clusters, and we go towards the middle, decreasing the cluster of leaves. Okay, and now once the base color is done, this is the darkest shade of the tree. Okay, it's not the mid-tone, it's the darkest shade. Now we have to lighten the color a little bit more. Here we don't use white for lightening green. We use yellow, either cadmium yellow or lemon yellow, or a mixture of both, like how you wish to take the light. Understood? So we take a mid-tone, we make a mid-tone with cadmium yellow by mixing cadmium yellow and lemon yellow together with the dark shade we have already mixed. We don't mix a new color. We use the same dark shade we have already mixed. We add in a little bit of yellow to lighten the shade, and you see, you can see it is deepening the tree. You will get that 3D effect that you wish to see in a tree, that you wish to see in a photo. So photorealism is my specialty. So I take inspiration from from the surroundings around me. I have my phone camera always on. I'll take pictures of trees and plants, and I'll keep it always with me. I look at when I look at the surroundings also, mentally I'm always visualizing that I'm painting. So it's always a color mixing palette in my head. That's how an artist thinks. Okay, it's always like when I see a deeper color tree, I'll feel, okay, this color I'll get when I mix these shades of blue and brown. Okay, so that kind of thinking is very necessary for an artist or a designer. You have to work on your visualization techniques. You have to really imagine stuff, and you have to always be virtually doing it in your mind. Okay, so I'm taking a little bit more and I'm deepening the shades. So it's really random. You won't get, see, if you look at it, it's not very symmetric. Some places it's dark and some places it's light. Now, this is the base of the tree. This kind of mixed colors is the base of the tree. Now, to bring out the 3D effect in it, we have to establish the light source. Okay, so light source in the sense where the sun is from where the light is coming. So in case if your light is coming this way, from here, from this corner, that is the right corner. Okay, from this corner, if it's coming this way, this part will be very light and this part will be very dark. Okay, that goes for the trunk also. This, it has a shadow cast by the leaves. So this part, it will be dark. But once the shadow is cast here, you might get a small light streak. this kind of difference in lighting and difference when you put highlights and shadows, you bring out the what do you say, the 3D effect, that 3D look in a tree. Okay, so my yellow is over, so I'll be taking a little bit of lemon yellow. Now to bring in the highlights, I told we have used lemon yellow, a little bit of cadmium yellow. Okay, a little bit of cadmium yellow. Lemon yellow is too stark, and a very tiny amount of white. White, in case of lightning, we use very little. Unless you want a pastel shade, you don't use too much of white. This lemon yellow, a little bit of cadmium yellow, and a little bit of white. Okay, and then you take that, you don't mix in green when you're putting highlights. Okay, because the mixing, yellow is a transparent color, so if you put it over there, you'll feel a little bit of green coming through. So now we want this part of the tree to be light. So what we do, we have these splotches, right? With the brush, with the darker brush, we go on top of those splotches once again, very lightly with the tip of the brush. Just the brush will do most of the work. Okay, we don't have to draw much. Just see that splotch. Is it visible? See, a little bit of yellow. You can see how the tree has waken up, right? So a little bit of yellow on the edges will give that 3D effect which you're looking. Now, you have to understand it should not come through this part. Here the light is coming and the tree is round, right? So this part, there won't be light, and here it will be more bright, more highlighted. So for that, we use only this part as the yellow. Now, when we don't take up much paint, little green will get mixed up in the brush, as you can see. That will act automatically as the mid-tones of the tree. Okay, a little bit of highlights here and there, and our highlights are done. It's a very simple concept. If you get it, it'll do wonders. Yeah, that's it. Now, this is a basic tree. Okay, now if you want, we can deepen the colors. Like you can see, just a second. Okay, yeah, you can see the brown is a bit transparent over here. That's because the color, we have not used more paint in it, and it has deepened, it has lightened the shade. So to deepen brown, we'll add burnt umber and a tiny bit of phthalo blue. Okay, tiny bit of phthalo blue, which will deepen the brown very much, and it will give a very dark shade. Get that? See, it has opened up the shade, opened up the tree. Get that? Now, a little bit of the yellow on this side to just show that there is to give depth for the trunk. Now, deepen the brown. Okay, and then the shadow is cast towards this side, right? So here we make it a little bit more dark. So this is a tree. This is a technique of painting a tree. Anyone and has any questions, free to answer. So as you can see, the tree is done. I'll rotate the camera and I'll give you a good look at it. So see, this is the back camera. That's why it's mirrored. But you can see the light is coming from this side and the dark is over here. And it gives that 3D effect to the tree. It looks, it doesn't look 2D. So basically, you just have to keep in mind when you're painting a tree to make it random. Don't be fussy about the symmetry and the straight lines and the splotches and everything. Let the brush do all the work. The brush will do most of the work. Okay. So yeah, that's it, my tree. I hope you have liked it. Anyhow,
Thank you,
I'm open
Razia.
for, yes.
Yes, so those who have any doubts, please raise your hand as
Can you
we'll
please
give
show
you a
your
chance. We'll unmute you then. So,
Can you please show
sir, you're
your
not
work?
audible, sir. Yes, Razia, we'd like to take a look at some of your works.
My works. Okay, my
Yes.
works.
Please
I'll
show
show
your
you.
work and then describe what are the medium you use and how
It's
you
actually not audio. I mean, I
He's
cannot hear you properly.
he's
Pardon.
asking for
show
some
your
of
work.
your works
Show your
and
work.
Okay.
also explain the mediums that you have
Explain the
used.
medium, how you
Yeah,
did.
yeah. Okay. So I'll show you my masterpiece. This I did during the lockdown time. This is my masterpiece. This is fully in acrylic. The picture, I do photorealism, as I told you. It's an acrylic work. I fully top to bottom acrylic painting. As you can see, it's a beach scene. The photo is mine. It's completely original. And my other works, I'll show you. 1 second. Yeah. This is the first painting I did when I started last November was the first painting I did. It was a tree. I always loved trees. This is also acrylic. This and this. These three paintings were the first three paintings I did. This is a bunch of clouds. It's all in acrylic. It's all acrylic tube paints. Okay. And these two are oil. This is oil. The difference in oil and acrylic is oil is a bit more vibrant. Okay. It's more like it's bright. Okay. This is also oil. And a few of my sketchbooks I'll show you. Sketchbook kuda. Yeah. Yeah, these are all my practice works. This is acrylic. This is also acrylic. Acrylic. All these are acrylic works. Okay, I'll say this is the oil painting I did. The first oil painting I did. All these takes around 6 to 7 hours. I mean, oil painting will take 7 hours over 3 days because we have to wait the paint to dry in between layers. So for that purpose, this is also an original. This is also oil. And this is also oil painting. All these are oil. So this sketchbook is main. This is my practice work. This was an incomplete painting. I have to complete it soon. See, there are some paintings that don't work out. Not every painting works out. I do paintings like when I'm Yeah. And then this one, which I did, this is also one of my sketchbooks. I'll show you. The paint is a little bit wet, so I cannot flip it through. Yeah. Yeah, this is an oil painting. This also it took around 7 to 8 hours to paint this one. It's all based on photos, based off photos. This is the latest one, which I did today. So that's it, my sketchbooks. I take a lot of time to paint. That's why I don't have that much amount of work, because I believe when I feel frustrated to paint, like when I forget about the shading and all those things, I'll stop, I'll take a break, and I'll come back. So yeah, I saw someone raising their hand.
And they are asking, no, how you learn yourself.
Yes, I learned myself. I didn't have any professional art coaching, nothing. I looked at YouTube videos. That's where I learned. I looked at YouTube videos for around 6 to 7 months before I started painting. I just brushed through. Every time I used to sit, I look at videos, and I won't just listen to them. I'll analyze how they use their brushes, where they catch their brushes, how much they are pressing their brushes. All these things I used to analyze very closely. One video itself, I'll look around 3 to 4 times to clearly understand the concept, what they are doing, understand the concept, and then I will I'll interpret it in my own way, my own style. I don't try to copy anyone. This is all my style. So I analyze the video that I'm looking. Jishnu Sukirtan is.
Yeah, just no. Yes.
It's how you learn detailing is doing. There is no other way of detailing. It's doing. You have to practice. The moment, like even today's, this painting has taught me that you should not press the brush too much. Understand? So every painting is a learning moment. Every painting you do is a learning moment. There is no painting in which you don't learn a new technique. When you do it, you learn the techniques. Because I can only impart that much. Unless you practice, you won't be able to put it in your work. There is no. I always have the saying: there is no expert. Every expert was an amateur at first. So practice, that's it. There is no easy way to it.
Ma'am,
Yeah,
Yes,
just
ma'am,
yes, tell.
ma'am, can you hear me, ma'am?
Yeah,
Yes.
sure. Call, tell.
Ma'am, you will use only canvas papers, ma'am.
First I used canvas. No, first one was canvas. I only used canvas cloth, but there are papers. There are specific papers for acrylic painting. Acrylic oil painting. It is based on this thing, one thing called GSM, grams per square meter. Okay. So when you buy a paper for acrylic painting, you have to increase the GSM. So the more the GSM, the better the painting will be. So normally our normal A4 paper is there, no, which we buy from the shop. That is around 70 GSM. Okay. So
Yes,
for
ma'am.
acrylic painting, you need more than 200 GSM. It's a specific kind of paint. So paper. Okay.
Ma'am, it will. We can buy in stationery stores that after you said no, ma'am. That
Yes.
no.
Yes. You can buy in stationery store. Where are you from? India?
In Tamil Nadu, Tirupur, ma'am.
Yes. So I would suggest go to Amazon.
Yes,
I buy everything online. I don't go to stores because my place is also a small town. We don't have much equipments over here. We don't have much resources. So what we use, I buy everything from Amazon. Okay, you go into
What's the name
Amazon.
of this book?
Cost,
No, ma'am.
Name, acrylic pad, acrylic papers. I use canvas pad, ma. So I buy Canvasify. 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 Canvasify canvas pads. 500 rupees is there for one 12 by 16 canvas pad.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Ma'am,
12 inch by 16 inch.
yes, ma'am. I have the interest of doing art, ma'am. I will do art drawings. I will do in my free time, ma'am. And my mother also do all. And little I'm fifth standard, ma'am. I'm from Springmount School, ma'am, and I'm interested in art, ma'am.
Very good, pa. Very good. You should, you should work on your talent. Okay,
Yes,
along with your studies, you should work on your talent. Okay, practice every day. Every day, practice at least one picture, at least one stroke of paint, at least one line of. Even if you don't know anything to draw, no, I'll tell you catch the pencil and sit in front of a paper. Something will come from your hand,
yes,
which
ma'am.
will turn into a piece.
My mother loves art also, ma'am, and my mother bought acrylic paints also, ma'am. Not in tube, ma'am. My mother gave in a bottle like
Yes,
poster colors, ma'am.
yes.
I have that, ma'am, but I didn't use for now. Also, I will draw cartoons, and I have drawn something in my notebook. And I have drawn in scenery, ma'am. I have drawn my scenery, ma'am.
Yeah. Share it in the group. I would love to see some of your works.
Yes,
Okay.
So I'll unmute Danuja.
Yeah.
Okay.
Danuja, you can ask question.
Hello.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Ma'am, I am going for this drawing class. I am going for a fifth standard only. Then I didn't go for some classes. You like you only. I'm searched in YouTube and proceed it. Now I interested to learn some things, but I can't because I don't know about other things. Using this drawings alone, but board paintings and other drawings I can done.
What's the question, ba? I didn't understand the question.
Danuja, you can tell it in Tamil, so I can help you in translating it for her.
Thank you, ma'am.
Tamil சொல்லு.
It's okay, ma'am. அதாவது அந்த கேன்வாஸுக்கு வந்து நம்ம பிரஷ் யூஸ் பண்றோம்ல மேம், அந்த பிரஷ் டெக்னிக்ஸ் வந்து எப்படி நம்ம யூஸ் பண்றோம்ன்றத வந்து எனக்கு புரியல.
Okay, in the
okay.
brush,
How to
in
use
the
the brush
stroke.
techniques?
Yes,
I can
exactly
understand a
that.
little bit of Tamil. No problem. Okay. How to use the brush techniques? How to use the brush? See, the brush techniques, you have to do it. You have to take the brush and start splotching on the paper. First thing I would say, buy one paint. Okay, take only one color. You take your brush, okay, a basic brush, and you start putting strokes on a paper. Understand how the brush is moving. When you press down the brush, how thick the brush is becoming. When you're not pressing, when you're leaving the pressure, how thin the brush is becoming. Okay, when you're just poking the paper, what happens? So first few paintings is not a picture. I'll tell you that first of all. Okay, it's not at all a picture. You have to understand your brush and how the brush falls on the paper.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, so when you understand that, you analyze every line. Like for this filbert brush itself, you can you saw me, you can complete a whole painting with one filbert brush, but the trick is understanding how the brush is working. That you will get only when you do the painting. Okay.
Yes.
So keep the brush damp. Damp in the sense it's just to be, you have to squeeze out all the water and keep the brush damp. Okay. And then take a point of little, you just dip the tip of the brush on the paint and start drawing lines on paper. Not a
Okay, ma'am.
picture, nothing like that. Just draw thick lines, thin lines, keep splotching, keep poking, experiment with the brush.
Okay,
Make
ma'am.
yourself, like when we exercise, we warm up, we exercise, we don't start our heavy exercise right away. No, we start with a little warm stretching exercise and then we go to heavy. Same way we do with painting also. First, you have to be comfortable with your brush. You
Okay,
and your
ma'am.
brush are like close friends. You have to understand each other.
Okay, ma'am. But
Okay.
oil medium means what, ma'am? Oil medium.
Yeah. Oil medium is, see, a paint has two things in it. A paint has a pigment and it has a medium. Okay. Pigment is that which gives color. Medium
Okay,
is
ma'am.
that which is carrying that color on, which is sticking that color to the paper.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. So for acrylic medium, for acrylic paint, the paint pigment is mixed with an acrylic medium. And for oil paint, the pigment is mixed with oil.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. So the oil will be either walnut oil, linseed oil, or basically walnut oil or linseed oil. So linseed, this is the medium which we use for oil painting. The difference is it takes lots of time to dry. For example, linseed oil for some paints, for like burnt umber or something, it will take 2 days to dry between layers. So for us, layering will be a bit more difficult, but blending will be easy. Like if you start a painting today, you don't have to finish it today. You can finish it after 2 days also.
Okay, ma'am.
Slowly you can do, and you can mix the paint on the canvas itself. It's easy to
Ma'am,
mix.
one layer only you can draw in that. ஒரே ஒரு layer தான் கொடுப்பீங்க.
No. You can draw many layers.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. The more layers you put in a painting, the more 3D effect you will get.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. Thank you.
Can you give any exercise, a little bit exercise? No, you said no. You have to put some strokes and all. You have to dip. Can you give little bit exercise with the paper if you have any papers? Because
Yeah.
then they will understand also.
Yeah.
Can you give
So,
demo exercise so that they will understand?
Yeah. So I'll do a demo. Just a second.
How to understand the brush?
Yeah. How to understand the brush. So yeah, for example, I am taking, I'll give you an overhead view. Okay.
One girl is asking, Ragavi, I am going to class, drawing class for 2 years. We using 4 types of brush, but you are using only one brush, ma'am. What is the size, ma'am?
The size. This is 12. This is a 12 size filbert brush. Because see, I didn't take any professional art course. This is all I found out these techniques from myself, because I had I wanted it to be reasonable in pricing, and I wanted it to be budget friendly. So I started with one brush and around 4 these paints, like around 4 colors of paints. Okay. I didn't buy any ready-made set or anything. I started with these paints, like brown, blue, 2 types of yellow, red, and white. This is what I started with. So normally in art classes, they give 4 types of brushes to paint, but I would say first you start, this is my personal opinion. Okay. I'm not saying anyone is wrong. This is my personal opinion. I would say to experiment with one brush. For example, this brush, I'll tell you, I'll give you a little demo. this brush, if you take, this is blue, okay? If you take blue, you see that, and just dipping the paint and just filling the brush body with paint. Got that? This is how much paint is there on the brush. So from this, now I will, how I do the, I understand my brushes. I'll catch the end of the brush. Okay, I don't catch this position is the writing position. This gives too much control on the brush. We need as little control as possible. Okay, so I use the end of the brush and I just draw lines. See how the paint is working, how much patchiness it is, how the lines are coming, how the shade is coming from dark to light. See that? And then I'll take more paint and I'll tilt the brush. This is the flat position I did, and I'll tilt the brush. I'll tilt the brush when I'm doing, see, when I'm just keeping it lay side, the line is thin. Again, if you put it pinpoint, the line will be again thinner. See that? So now you want to make a splotch. This is the technique I used for a tree. See, I dipped some paint and I just press that, press that, press that, press that. Some will be dark, some will be light, some will be splotchy, some will be patchy. But all this together, the final picture you'll get, see, that final picture will come together. Initially, you'll feel everything is going wrong, but I would say go ahead with it. Understand your brush, understand how your brush is working. See that? This is called stippling. And then this is how. So I would say exercise is this much. You have to take a brush, take a filbert brush or a pointy brush or a straight brush, whichever brush you have in handy. That brush you take, you dip in one color of paint, and then you try to make as many different types of strokes. As many different types of strokes as you can. I hope I've cleared your doubt. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
My last question, yeah, thanks for your exercise. And last question is, what is your daily habit as an artist?
My daily habit is drawing daily. Daily drawing. Daily. Like even if I don't have a sketchbook or a paper, all you need is a pencil and a 70 GSM normal A4 paper or the rough notebook you have. If you don't get anything to draw, what I'll do, draw anything that is in front of you, like, or just scribble, start scribbling on your paper, and then it will come out. When you start scribbling, your hand will be warmed up with the scribbling pattern, and then finally you'll come out, you'll get that feeling inside your gut, your mind will start working. Okay, so that's my daily habit, drawing at least one line. At least one line.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thanks for answering everything. And Sudha, you can go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Razia. You seriously gave such important and useful tips to our children. So I hope all your questions are answered, participants. If there are any, you can leave it in the chat. And if we have some time left at the end, again, we will hand it over to Razia to answer your questions. Thank you. So let's move on. That we're done with the demonstration. We're done with the Q&A. Now, it's the time we start giving you things that we said, that we promised. App of the day first. Now, drawing grid for the artist. This is basically, it's like you scale when you're trying to do a portrait or you're trying to do any art that is going to be really difficult for you or complicated. You may not understand. Children especially, gridding your art is very, very useful tip. You may try to draw your aunt or uncle or your friend as a gift, but fortunately or unfortunately, you may not be getting it in the right proportion. So those who are having a tough time with the right proportion, grids are your saviors. There may be some like Razia who just takes a look at it and would be able to just bring it to life. But then for those who can't, then grid is your savior. Now, what is grid is you take a picture and you just divide it into tiny squares of particular inches or centimeters. And then if you want to double the size of it, triple the size of it, or whatever be it, you can just double or triple the measurement that you have taken. This can be a very, very handy job that you take a scale, and it could be hard on you to sit and draw a grid on the reference picture. Now, this app makes that life easy. You can just upload your picture into the app and just tell how many grids you want, and voila, it's done. And you can just replicate it into your paper. So drawing the grid for the artist, you can check that app out. The second app, now many of us like comics, many of us like comic characters, many of us like to just play around when we like Razia said, just do some drawing every day. Maybe you may not have those things, but you might definitely have a mobile near you somewhere. So this app will help you in getting that, drawing some simple drawings and blending, and it has all the basic tools, and it is very lightweight on your mobile. It also has inbuilt some artworks which you can practice your shading techniques or coloring techniques. So the app name is Medibank Paint. You can try these two, Grid and Medibank Paint. Now it doesn't stop there, we still have two more things to give, that is the website of the day. Now, the first website is Toy Theater. Now, Toy Theater is a fun educational gaming website. It starts from elementary school and goes on till 8th grade. Related to any topic, you just go click on your topic, click on your grades, and it's going to give you all those fun activities which you can try out. Toy Theater 1. Now, SketchR and demos. This is a very, very fun website. You can just simply go there and it's going to ask you to draw one stroke. One stroke, in sense, it can be a curved line, a slanting line, a vertical line, a horizontal line, anything. And there is an option for you on top. What is it that you're trying to draw with that shape? It can be a shape, a plane, or anything. You click on that option and you just do that one stroke, and it's going to just jot out this list of drawings that can be made with that stroke. Now, it may seem amateur, but it just gives you the idea to use strokes. It helps you. Like, we artists, we actually practice character design, especially when we have to create a character. This is a small tip that is actually given to us when we work in animation studios. So I'm giving it to you free of cost. Take a paper, scribble. What we do is scribble. And out of that, we take 10 minutes to bring out a character. Where can I put the nose? You will be able to visualize something out of that scribble. Now that scribbling ideas is what this SketchR and demos is going to help you. Now you may look, ma'am, that doesn't look like a ship, that looks like a toddler ship, but it is actually giving you ideas from where you can start building on. With a simple stroke you gave, the AI gave you a number of ideas, and then you can start building on your drawing. So SketchR and demos is very useful. You can check that out. Now, you cannot sharpen your skills without a very, healthy competition. So here's the competition which you can try. It is related to space. International Space Foundation conducts this competition every year. It is all over the world. Students participate. Excellent works. You can go check their website. The previous winners' paintings are also there. You can register. It's free. Put in your efforts. Try to put your name out there. Now, affirmation is something that you tell yourself that you are best. You have to do that every day. You have to tell yourself. Now, if you think, I really can't do this. No, I'm not going to do this. No, that's where you need that affirmation that you can do this. You need that teeny bit of inner, yourself that is inside you telling you to do that. You are a winner. Today is your day to become that winner, and you can start off from today and you can do it. There's no one better than you. Tell these things to yourself every day and you can get it. And make it a practice. Everything that is of good practice goes of no waste. Now, please take your precious time off to give us your feedback. You want areas of improvement, you can let us know. You want any topics in the future session, you can let us know. Any more doubts you want, you can let us know. Put it in the chat. We will be grateful if you could let us know, especially where we should improve, or what you liked the most, what was the best part of today's session, or any topic that you would want to know from us. Put it all in the chat. I'm going to give you next 10 minutes for you guys to give us the feedback that is very valuable to us. Take your time.
You can also share that weekly challenge group, how it is.
Yes,
Uh,
like said in the beginning, we are having weekly challenges in our WhatsApp group. The link was already shared in the chat. It will be shared again. You can join us in that group. We will be giving you weekly challenges, and you can follow that to sharpen your skills. And we will give you tips and advices by taking a look at your artwork. If it needs any correction, where you can improve, area of improvement, where you are good, everything, you can just talk to us there. There are more than literally 6 to 7 artists in that group who can sharpen you, who can help you out. Follow the challenge, take this up to just help yourself. Join us in that WhatsApp group. The link is shared in the chat. I hope I got it, sir.
Anyone can give you the feedback. Danuja, Shaktinandan is there. Uh, Harish Ramana is there. Harish Ramana, can you give a feedback about that group?
Yes,
Yeah,
meanwhile, we might be having our classes starting up soon. So you can join us in the group and give us ideas on what are the classes that you would like. We would have some fixed topic which we would start and finish till you learn the technique. So we would have classes like that. So are we having any session tomorrow? Do you want me to tell them about that?
yeah. Actually, that we will discuss. But we are planning session tomorrow. Is depending upon the topic is gaming. Okay. So if you want, you have to tell me the time. What time should I have? Like 5 to 6:30, we have one option, and 6 to 7:30, and 7 to 8:30. Within these three, what time we can have? Can you please chat in the? Can you please chat it? We have a three option tomorrow: 5 to 6:30, 6 to 7:30, and 7 to 8:30. Which time is feasible for you? Can you please text, put it in the chat so that we will plan it accordingly.
So like testing, those who are willing to participate, please let us know the feasible time that you would be able to join us. Would it be the time slot that's gave 5, 6, or 7? So 6:30, 7:30, right, sir?
Yeah,
Anjan, sir?
yeah, 5:30 to sorry
5:30.
5 to 6:30, and 6 to 7:30, and 7 to 8:30. Three option is there.
So you can let us know in the chat which particular time would be feasible for you, or if you've joined us in the WhatsApp group, let us know there as well. If you haven't joined us in the WhatsApp group, join us in the WhatsApp group and let us know.
Yeah, we have a nice comment from many of them. So, see, you can come on video itself. That is actually it will be better for us. I don't know why you're texting. That is fine, but if you come on the video, it will be very good for us.
Anybody who would like to just unmute yourself and turn on your video and give us your feedback?
I allow everyone to unmute yourself. I allowed it. If you want to give any feedback, you can unmute yourself and you can give a feedback. I want someone, at least one or two, can give a feedback on video. Harish Ramana or Tanuja. Then it's fine. Yeah, they are giving everything in chat itself. Okay, you can go ahead. That's it.
Yeah. So, word of thanks. It's time to end today's session. Thank you, one and all. Thank you, Mr. Guna. Thank you, Razia, for taking time out with us and helping our children here. Thank you, all those parents who are there with your children, motivating them. Thank you, children, for joining us. Thank you, Mr. Pandian, for this excellent opportunity. Thank you, one and all. Have a nice weekend. Good night. Have a great weekend. Take care. Stay safe. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. We will see you everyone tomorrow. Bye bye. And thank you, Razia. And your session is awesome. Really, I enjoyed. I think our students also enjoyed that. And thank you so much. And Guna sir, thank you so much for your magic, sir. Every time, no, your magic is so special for me because I love magic. I will teach. I will not to gain attraction from the student. I will use the magic, okay, in my class. So you are one of my inspiration. Now I'm every time I'm seeing new tricks. Thank you so much, Guna sir. So thank you. So we are leaving. Thank you everyone, and bye bye.